Hello all, welcome back again. Today we enter an interesting topic. It's called stigma, and I have shaped it in such a way it can be divided into two parts. The first part, I call it stigma, a universal phenomenon, and the second, I call it stigma and disability. What can we learn? That's a question mark there. So let's see how we travel together. Let's get straight away into the topic, stigma. What is it? Some of you may connect stigma with discrimination. Maybe you were penalized because you look dark. Maybe one of you is of a short stature, one of you have a scar here, or some of us are not so sharp. We don't get 100 out of 100 all the time. Why should we get? Some of us are slow in processing. Some of us may be slow, or some of us genius. Maybe you can do abstract algebra at the age of 5, or write enormous amount of poetry at the age of 10. Or you go to America and experience some kind of discrimination. Maybe you are asked to say get out of place because you look different. Maybe one of you is disabled, can't see, or have a hearing problem, or you have problem with your limbs, can't walk, on a wheelchair, and so on, and somebody says, no, this is not meant for you, we can't give a driving license, and so on. So in broader terms, stigma is closely associated with discrimination. But is it that? Are they synonyms? I would say no. Stigma is a kind of branding. Dictionary definition is you brand people, say maybe in traditional South Indian villages, people who have committed ghastly crimes, for example, may be branded with a stick so that black spots and red spots on their skin, and they may be taken on a donkey as a procession to demonstrate that, well, they are different. Prisoners, maybe in India and in the rest of the world too, may be asked to shave their head and eyebrow removed to look odd and to look like a prisoner. You see, traditionally in India, widows have been asked to tonsure their head, remove their hair, wear white saris. Countless examples to suit a role, as it were. If you are a widow, you should look like this. If you are a disabled, you should look like this. If you are a woman, certain professions are suitable to you and not others. If you are something else and something else, and so on. So in simple words, it is a kind of branding. I am not talking about Reebok and that kind of brands. It's about marking, if you like, marking someone as the other. He or she is different and not like my kind. That kind of branding. So, well, is it everywhere? Yes, it is. Is it a flux? Yes, it is. Is it a form of social reality? Yes, it is. Then, if that were the case, how do we study it? Well, like other fields, disability studies has an excellent understanding of what we mean by stigma. I will come to disability studies in the part 2, but here we will try to unpack, as it were, how stigma works. You may observe your niece or nephew or your own little sister or a neighborhood child, how they react to people who look different. For example, people who look dark, or people who with a big mustache, or a person with a disability. I will tell you my example. When I go to a neighborhood house or a house with little children, children become curious in the first place. Why is this guy not able to see me or see around, or why is he not reacting to my visual stimuli? Maybe I will show one finger to him, but he is not reacting. Is he different? They quickly go to their mom, and their moms generally quickly grab them and shut the mouth. Their moms generally fear that these children may actually wound me by calling something. Why can't this uncle see, or is he blind, or use a Tamil word equivalent to it, or Hindi word, and so on. So their moms and dads become particularly cautious and just chup and so on. But the thing is, what I learned from such episodes is we always want to gather information about others, don't we? It is curiosity of human cognitive thinking, curiosity of human imagination, if you put it that way. And rightly so, we develop that during childhood. Right from the childhood, cradle to grave, we are curious people, and there is nothing wrong in curiosity. But people who seem to be different from your surroundings can provoke two emotions. One, curiosity on the left side, and fear on the right. Well, they more or less go together. Have you seen caregivers frightening children with the sound of a beggar in the street, and person who looks strangely different, hey, if you don't have this milk, I will give you to that uncle or a stranger. Naturally, in due course, this fear can become a stereotype. Oh my God, that uncle who cannot see, or aunt who cannot walk properly may be dangerous, the child may assume, and therefore develop fear. So, what was once curiosity can eventually become fear. This is how the child and her crowd, if you like, little crowd, can develop stigma for people who look different, including people with a disability. Right. Now, let us talk a little more concretely. So far, it was just examples and so on. But now, let us see how we can structurally think. Well, all human relationships will involve three components. One, making sense of the other. Suppose you are developing a friendship with someone, you are in some kind of a curiosity and observation mode. When you are in curiosity or observation mode, you want to compare that person with whoever already was with you, maybe your brother or a cousin or another friend whom you had at school and so on. So, comparative perspective. In other words, our cognitive understanding develops by comparison, stereotype and so on. Then the affective component. What is affective? Affective is emotional. We need to be a friend with someone, we need to be emotionally comfortable. If we don't feel a sense of friendship with someone, then it is a sure sign that we are emotionally uncomfortable with that person. And the third component, that is social control, making sense of your society and so on. Well, you have families talking, making sense of neighbors, families making sense of in-laws, one caste community makes sense of other caste community in a village. You have one nation as a whole, in some sense, talking about a neighboring nation, usually with some prejudice. So, coming back, stigma has three components. It has a cognitive component, affective component and a social control component. Let us talk about it in little more detail, so that we understand these three components in much more significant way. Well, Erving Goffman and other sociologists have given this kinds of anatomy of stigma, as it were, in the sense the tripartite definitions, divisions that I have given here actually borrowed from Erving Goffman and so on. Okay. Let me talk about the affective component, emotional. One primary emotion that you and I may invoke or grips us is fear and anxiety about the stranger. For example, if I spot a worm here, for example, I may say, oops, I may withdraw, and secondly, crush it with a book here. This is what exactly happened in human affective component emotion to strangers. One, there is a possibility that they withdraw immediately. Oh my God, let me turn away. He looks different. She looks spotted. Maybe she looks unhuman and so on. The second consequent behavior, it is possible we do mob lynching, for example, catch a guy who is called a robber, small thief, beat him to pulp with a mob lynching behavior. One of the things that drive this fear and disgust for the other person is our propensity to observe. By the way, I would like to give you a great resource book about fear and disgust. It's a great book. I think you should refer to it. It's called Anatomy of Disgust. It walks one through how we feel disgust. Maybe disgust, a symptom. You feel nauseated. Maybe human waste, human difference, the cityscapes that look different, our own body parts that don't belong to us anymore, old age, death, all these things can invoke disgust. And disgust also depends on your age, maturity in life. Maturity, I don't mean moral maturity, I mean maturity to handle problems in life as one progresses in life, and so on. Many factors. Leprosy can invoke disgust, for example. So, what am I saying now? Disgust and fear, one of the primary emotional responses to human difference, can invoke or shape stigma potential. All right. Second, stereotyping. That is the cognitive component. What is cognition? Making sense of something. How do you make sense of something? You compare. How do you compare? You have certain scale in mind. A good person means this. A good looking girl means this. A man should be of this quality. Childhood means this. Old age means this. One develops scales in the mind. They reside in your unconscious. I mean, what I mean is, they indirectly influence you. And what we end up doing is, we invoke them as a scale and compare and stereotype. And what is a stereotype? Putting things into a mold, as it were. And how do we do that? One of the ways in which one does is staring. Suppose somebody enters in. You pause for a second and look at the person. That person may be upper class. He wears a Reebok shoe. He has just got down from a car, and that car also looks expensive. Or alternatively, the person in rags, maybe one should not talk. That person his English is not American accent, so it should be some low class corporation school stuff. So he must be intellectually weak as well. Don't we make such stupid assumptions? And this is what cognitively happens. So it requires to get out of that stigma, you require to, to use a computer metaphor, defragment your mind, your cognitive learning behavior. Psychiatrists would call it cognitive behavior therapy. I'm not getting into therapy angle. We need to, in some sense, relearn, and second, unlearn many stereotyping scales that we go on to build. By the way, it may be also useful to consult this book on staring by Rosemary Garland Thompson. Fantastic book on how we stare at others. For example, some staring is meant to, collect information. I told about the child thing, right? Children look at me to collect information, whether this uncle, look, is he pretending? Does he have a chocolate? How her mom or dad is leading him by hand, maybe I should do that. It's for information. Some staring, which women are very acutely aware of, it may be meant to harass them, a kind of roguish looking without reciprocity. So, coming back, cognitive, there is an affective component, we did that. Cognitive component, we did that. And a social behavior. Well, at the end of the day, we are humans with strict sense of borders. My family, my house, my town, my community, my school, my college, my friend, and the borders are infinite. One indulges in stigma to, in some sense, achieve coherence and strength within these borders. For example, if I have to feel great about myself, I have to pick up one of you and say you're bad, and vice versa. Some call this dehumanization. You basically, to achieve intrahumanization, that is, to feel good within your own community, you start saying the other caste community is bad. This is how caste discrimination and stigma develop. There is a huge history of caste discrimination in our society based exactly on this principle. Sometimes stigma looks so natural that you don't even identify that it is a stigmatic thing to do. One gets used to, for example, the British in India for 400 years got used to the idea that they were imperialists. Sun never sets in the British Empire, they assumed, and they assumed that poor infidels here were to give them service for life. Well, talking about racism, we should equally talk about such evils in Indian societies too, such as casteism and so on. So, intrahumanization, to feel good about one's own community and one's own human community, you start brandishing others, as it were. So, social control, cognitive and behavioral affective components come together in making stigma possible. Concluding remarks, part 1. So, in some sense, stigma is unavoidable. It is the basis on which stigma is a building block, if you like, a cluster of building blocks on which human difference is built, perceived and perpetuated. It is the basis on which people draw patterns of human relationship. They come to terms with difference and perpetuate difference based on stigma. Am I justifying stigma then? No. This is only a description, and the idea to say that it works inevitably within us and among us. That is all I wanted to say in this first part. Thank you.